Okay, good evening all. I hope that you can hear me and actually see me alright. YouTube is saying it's experiencing connection issues. Hopefully that won't affect us too much, but yeah, there we go. So yeah, welcome. This is my first ever live stream. I'm still not entirely sure what is going on with everything. It's the first time I've used OBS for streaming. Yeah, everything's a bit new, but I thought I'd try it out. I've been pretty busy for the last week or so with clients, shoots and edits as well. So yeah, now that I have half decent internet, as Callum has rightly mentioned in the chat, I thought I might as well give it a go, see if I can actually live stream. I thought I'd just do a quick little Q&A. I've not been very active on YouTube at all recently. I've not had time to be replying to comments or anything like that. I will, trust me, I will. But this last week or two, I've just been too busy. But yeah, if there's anything that you'd like to ask me, whether it's about photography and videography, about the cameras themselves, technique, the business side of things, anything like that, hit me up and I'll be sure to try and give an answer to it. And do let me know as well in the chat if everything looks alright, sounds alright. I have no idea. I've got a preview in YouTube Studio, but that is delayed by about 10 seconds or so, 12 seconds. So yeah, just let me know and I'll see what I can do to fix it. So what can we talk about? I've only just realised that I can't actually edit this. I'd usually just keep talking and then cut out the bits in between. So yeah, new experience. So we've got the first question. Callum Glass asks us, what's your favourite camera? Winky face. Sounds great. Video stalling now and then, not bad. Yeah, video, I mean, in OBS, the bottom corner, I can see the connection going from red to amber to green to amber to red to amber to green constantly. Starlink hasn't been that quick the last day or so compared to how it has been behaving for me. Saying that, this morning I uploaded about 3 GB of edited photos for a client in about 5 minutes, which is not bad going at all. Favourite camera? I'm going to cheat and give a few answers to this. Favourite camera just for my everyday shooting is definitely the X100V. Still absolutely loving this camera. I do have the TCL X100 Mark II converter as well, teleconverter, which gives it equivalent 50mm focal length, and I think it actually adds a really nice balance to the weight of it as well. So don't say Kellogg's. That is that's Callum there referring to the XS10 as a serial packet camera. I can see where it's coming from, but Fuji fanboys, please don't hate him. But yeah, favourite everyday camera at the moment, X100V. For my work, I have to say the A7R4. Despite the fact that I've actually been using it more for video than I have for photo. So I picked up the A7R4, swapped out one of my A7 III bodies for it, or to go towards it. Mainly, I mean, I'll put it out there, my least favourite thing about this camera is the megapixels. I'm shooting like right now anyway, for video. Yeah, 61, 62 megapixels, it's daft. Unless all you are doing is like architecture and interior photography, that sort of thing, there is no need for that many megapixels. I still love the A7 III for its low light shooting. For a wedding, 90% of my day will be A7 III with 24mm G Master. Absolutely love it, can't beat it. And then I'll have to add my favourite camera, which I do not own, probably the Sony FX6. One day, depending if there's another pandemic or not, one day I may just get one. It looks all around just outstanding camera. Obviously for video, maybe not for photos. But yeah, for the sort of work that I'm getting into more, especially freelance for different companies, something like that would be a huge benefit to my business. At the end of the day, I could charge more as rental for that equipment, and the client is getting a far better quality end product out of it as well. So yeah, one day maybe, or if anyone wants to super chat me a nice £6,000-7,000, that would be greatly appreciated. I can see the swirling loading symbol there. We'll see how we go. Hopefully it's not having too much buffering problems. James Shanahan. Hi James Shanahan. Wander Around Human. This is my good friend Diego. One of my biggest fans there from pretty much day one. Is there a budget travel camera you would recommend? Something for beginners? If you hadn't said the word budget, I would have said the X100V. Honestly, I think it might be worth looking at Micro Four Thirds with Panasonic Lumix cameras. I used to have a Lumix TZ90. That's what I sort of started this channel on. Well, I bought it about 3 videos in, but then a little while after that I bought the GX8, which looks very similar to the X100V, but it had detachable lenses. I absolutely love that camera. It was the only camera I took with me on my last holiday, which was 2.5 years ago in Belgium. I went to Brussels for 2 nights and tried to do as much as I could over basically a day and a half. So I took the GX8 with a prime 20mm lens, which gave me an equivalent of 40mm focal length, which I found fantastic for going around cities and stuff like that. And is it 12 to 35? I can't remember now. Something like that. Just a sort of dead basic zoom lens. And I absolutely loved it. I had fantastic image quality. It was 20 odd megapixel camera still, despite the tiny sensor. Yeah, stabilization is fantastic, and I mean, even now I mostly just shoot in aperture priority. Cameras these days, even from the last 5 or so years, if you tell it how to expose, it'll do it. It'll have no issue. Like, they are smart enough to do the job for you most of the time. So yeah, I'll give you a message at some point, but I would suggest something in that range, the Lumix rangefinder stuff. Comment from Feswald. If money was no object, what would your gold standard setup be? Yeah, probably the Sony FX6, as mentioned before, just as webcam. A couple of nice Sennheiser microphones. And yeah, I probably wouldn't be in a garage either. It's great that I have this space, but yeah, I don't know, a nice secluded cottage somewhere, which would be absolutely fine now that I've got my Starlink satellite as well. Yeah, obviously I'd add to my computing, set up a nice office network setup and stuff like that. I'll probably get Jimmy in to sort some of that out for me. And yeah, just somewhere nice and quiet, out of the way, decent views, but I can just crack on, get videos done, and yeah, love life. Calm again, it's all fine on the feed, bro. Ace. Another one from Diego. Do you have any funny or interesting wedding outdoor photography stories? I remember the video where you lost your drone on very strong winds up a hill. Enjoyed it very much. So you might have seen my more recent drone videos where I destroyed my Mavic Air 2 literally the day before I went on the drone course with my mate Chris. I did actually manage to recover the footage from that. I'm not sure if I've still got it or not, but I think in the video I was trying to explain it away, like the wind picked it up from behind and just sent it slightly off course, because I was flying in this massive open area with one single solid object right in the middle of this area, and I smashed it full pelt straight into that obelisk. But yeah, looking at the footage, once I'd managed to, I can't even remember how I did it, it was all sorts of coding involved. You could see I was heading straight for it, it was right there on the crosshair, and it was going so fast that I actually cut out, the video feed cut out about 20 or so meters away from the obelisk, because the camera didn't even have time to process those frames before it was launched off the drone. So yeah, I've learnt my lesson with that one. Maybe another funny story, it's a bit of a close call actually. I was doing a video a couple of years ago for, it was a competition that Brendan Van Son was hosting. He was looking for a, no it wasn't, sorry, it was something with Trover, though it was to do with the colour blue, and you had to come up with these different images to do with the colour blue. So knowing the area, in here in North Wales, North East Wales, there's a town called Queensferry. In Queensferry you've got something called the Jubilee Bridge, which is a blue bridge over the River Dee. So I went down there to shoot a video. I was doing, this is when I was into doing like selfies, long exposure selfies and stuff like that. So I thought I'll get a picture of this bridge, this blue bridge, at blue hour at the end of the day, hopefully getting some light trails off the traffic. And I just noticed a nice light patch of sand on the banks of the River Dee, so I thought, ideal, I'll set the camera on timer, I'll jump down there and get a good photo. So I did it, hit the camera, ran down there, jumped in, and it was just silt. It's like really thick, stinking silt. And I was covered in it as well. So my 1 foot hit it, immediately started sliding down. Managed to sort of grab hold of the grass on the verges, pulled myself back out of there. Didn't even get the photo, none of it was captured. But then, luckily, I always have a spare change of clothes in the car. In this case, it was just waterproof stuff. But I got changed, headed back down just with a 50mm lens, hand shooting, and then I just heard this noise, and it was the tidal bore coming up the Dee. So had I have timed that jump maybe 5 minutes later, I could very easily have just been swept away, all for the cause of a photo contest. But there we go. I laughed about it afterwards. Yeah, it's still up on the channel if you do want to go and see it. So there we go. Yeah, they're my stories so far. Comment from Richard. Hi Ben, sorry for being late to the party. No worries at all. Wondering what your favourite landscape photography locations are in the UK. Honestly, I've probably explored maybe 2% of the UK. I've only ever been to the Lake District twice, and both of those times were just for 2 nights at a time. I do love it up there, but especially for the next year, I don't think I'll be going up, just with so many people now wanting to go on holiday in these areas. Yeah, talking of the Lake District, I do love the Buttermere area. Some superb landscapes around there. Here in North Wales, I absolutely adore the Denbigh Moors. So everyone thinks of North Wales. I mean, outside the window here, I've got Mulvamai, my company's namesake, and the Clwydian range. Obviously, love it around here. Love shooting around here. But then otherwise, everyone thinks of Snowdonia, which is stunning, obviously. But yeah, I think honestly I prefer the Denbigh Moors. It's sort of like the man in the castle and the man in the cave sort of thing. I would much rather be up on the Denbigh Moors shooting towards Snowdonia, getting the views of Snowdonia, than being in Snowdonia and not necessarily seeing it properly for what it is. Yeah, it's one of them, and I do just love the more forested areas and the reservoirs as well. And I'm a bit lazy as well. I can't remember the last time I went up a mountain. So yeah, I think they would be my personal choices. Oh no, we've run out of questions. You can literally ask me, like, what's your internet speed right now? Or, I don't know, how my day's been. But don't ask me that. It's been a bit boring, to be honest. Not sponsored. Richard, you're welcome. I have seen your comments as well on previous videos. I've just not had time to get to them. Jago again. On the topic of places, post-COVID, is there anywhere you want to visit and photograph? Also, what inspired you into photography, and are there any photographers that you look up to? Okay, I'll do this one bit at a time. Post-COVID, anywhere I want to go and visit and photograph? I would love to get up to Scotland properly within the next couple of years. It's just not an area I've explored at all. I think we went for a 2-week holiday based out of Starlink, probably when I was about 12, 13 years old, so 15, 17 years ago. And like, I didn't have a camera or anything like that. I was just more bothered about playing football in the park and stuff. Yeah, I'd love to head up to Scotland properly and do a good, I don't know, week or so, just go around different locations, shooting around there. But also further south, like Dorset, Somerset, Cornwall, that sort of area. And on the same topic, Pembrokeshire, here in Wales. I've not been down that neck of the woods purely for photography before, so I'll have to do something about that pretty soon. Next bit, what inspired you into photography? So, going back, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, if you don't know already, I used to be a chef, and that meant that my weekends were Monday and Tuesday. All my mates had a nice cushy Monday to Friday 9 to 5s, so I had no one to hang out with, and at this point I was based around Bangor and Anglesey that way, so I pretty much just spent my Mondays and Tuesdays going out exploring around Snowdonia and Anglesey, and I absolutely loved it. Just by myself, I'd stop off somewhere half decent for lunch. Obviously, being a chef, I was interested what everyone else was doing. But then, yeah, I was going to these gorgeous places and quickly realised that my iPhone 4, I think I had at the time, the camera on that, no, it wouldn't have been iPhone 4, it's probably HTC something or other. The camera just was not doing justice to what I was seeing. So I started doing a little bit of research on cameras. And then one night we had a very busy but very, very good, I think it might have been Mother's Day shift. If you ever work kitchen on Mother's Day, you know it's quite a challenge. So great shift, all went to the pub afterwards, and then once I got home I ordered the camera. Apparently I didn't remember doing it, but a few days later in the post I got this camera and took it from there basically. Yeah, I never had any tuition per se. It's pretty much all just YouTube, just picking up different bits from different videos, trying to make sense of it all, and yeah, here I am, 4.5 years later. So then, are there any photographers you look up to? I sort of have to say Callum Glass. He's from North Wales. I don't know if you've heard of him. Yeah, he's all right. Photographers on YouTube, I'd have to say Sean Tucker. I actually got his most recent book. I've not even had a chance to flick through it yet. Yeah, Sean Tucker, I absolutely love his videos. Half of them aren't even about photography, but just sort of philosophy, mindset of the creative experience. Yeah, absolutely love his channel. So I'll link all these channels in the description for those watching afterwards as well. I really like James Popsis. I think he has a very similar style to what I aim for, really, especially with the videos as well. Sort of no nonsense, just dead honest. It's like not trying to beat around the bush about anything. Yeah, I love his channel for that. Thomas Heaton, I still really like. He was probably the first photographer I found on YouTube. I think it was a video about filters or something. That's how I found his channel. But then also, in terms of video, I'd have to say 2 more channels on YouTube. Philip Bloom, He's a London-based videographer. His channel is fantastic. His reviews on products, he just goes above and beyond in all aspects of those videos. Superb. And Potato Jet as well. He has a really fun way of going about his videos. He's got a different vlog channel as well. They tie in together. Yeah, really good channels. Next question. James Shanahan. Do you have a Starlink setup review video? Not yet. Actually, this next weekend I'm meeting a guy from Peterborough. He's coming to Wrexham for the weekend, and he's got one of the Ridgeline roof mounts, which just sits on top of the roof like that, which you then weigh down. At the moment, my dish is still just sat on the lawn, which isn't ideal because you'll get birds sitting on it wherever it is, but it's in close proximation to a Welsh Terrier, which is not great. And also, this window is still open to get the wire through. But hopefully, after the next weekend, I'll be able to get it mounted properly, permanently on the roof. I'm going to have to drill a hole through the garage wall to feed the cable in. I'm actually just about to order a new router, Wi-Fi 6 router, because the Starlink one is not very good. And then I'll be attaching that to a mesh system as well. So hopefully, I don't think anyone watching except for Callum has seen this house, but it's a bungalow, but still has the sort of footprint of a normal like 2-story 4-bedroom house. So it is very spread out. So I'm trying to think. So I've been drawing diagrams on the iPad this afternoon, trying to put together a good setup for the mesh system and stuff. So yeah, once that's all sorted, hopefully I'll be able to get a video together, maybe a 1-month usage review, something like that. But yeah, if I do, you'll hear about it. Feswold, did you ever manage to use that Soviet camera I found? You mean this one? So I don't think I've shown this on the channel before. This is a Zenit TTL, old film camera, which Feswold, who is my friend Andy, he found it in a charity shop. Actually, he found 2 of them in a charity shop for £5 each. Sent me a photo and said, yeah, I'll have one. So yeah, I have a Zenit TTL now. I've actually never really looked into it properly. Like, it is anyone who's used one of these or any of the big film cameras back in the day, Nikon F4, that was quite a beast as well. It is a tank of a camera. I mean, it is from Soviet Russia. Where is it? So yeah, it's a, was it M42 mount? Proper old school. So the lenses, you literally just screw straight in until they stop turning. This lens I actually do use quite a lot. It's a very popular lens. It's the Helios 58mm f2. There's a few variants of it, but yeah, with a adapter I use this quite a lot on my Sony cameras. But yeah, I need to look into this properly really, and actually have a good go of it, run a roll of film through it. I'll leave the lens attached to remind me to do so. Put you there. Be good to get your thoughts on it on Starlink. Yeah, I'll do a video. You can share the diagram with me if you want. give them thoughts. Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's not much of a diagram, I'll be honest. But one thing that's annoying me. In fact, I might be able to share this. Where are we? For those of you who aren't in our Discord channel, what I'm currently looking at is, I'm just setting up a new scene with a new window capture. I'm getting used to this, and I want to select, where are you? Safari. Okay. Fit to screen. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah, this is the router that I'm looking at. It's the TPLink AX10. This is for the Starlink internet, by the way. Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi 6 router, and I've seen a few very happy reviews from people in the UK Starlink Facebook group. Literally just plugged it straight in to the power brick of the Starlink, and it just works far better than the Starlink router. I do have other options there, obviously, for networking and whatnot. And then for the Wi-Fi mesh, I'm currently looking at the X20s, again from TP-Link. Yeah, they're very vague with these. They don't actually give you a sort of range per unit. They only ever show diagrams of the three set up together in a house, meshing together. But yeah, this is what I'm thinking of right now. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, really. I'll definitely be doing a video to show if it works or not, how much better it is. But yeah, I'm trying to get my dad to chip in for this internet as well. So if he's able to sack off their current 4G network, as I had myself, then hopefully, I mean, especially as Starlink are getting more satellites up and more ground stations built, the network's only going to get stronger and faster, and as more and more people start using it, it'll get cheaper as well. So hopefully I should be able to rig up this whole house pretty well. I've heard those things. Sorry, I've heard good things about the TP-Link. Yeah, me too. So yeah, they're the ones I'm looking at so far. I was originally looking at the Deco M5. I don't know if I've got any on here. Yeah, those ones. Yeah, I was looking at these originally, but I thought, especially if I'm getting a Wi-Fi 6 router, I may as well be using Wi-Fi 6 mesh stuff as well. So especially with the Starlink, there are issues with latency at the moment. So using all Wi-Fi 6 hardware, that should really be sort of damage limitation as much as anything. So yeah, should be good. Uriel is asking, what is harder, taking pictures of people or landscapes and nature? People are the worst. So yes, I'd have to say people. Although I think this is another reason I love shooting sort of lesser known areas such as Denby Moors and like Kynog Forest and stuff like that. For all the sort of big landscape photography locations, I mean, look at Padan Lake in Snowdonia, for example, the lone tree. That has to be the most photographed tree, certainly in the UK, if not Europe, if not the world. everybody has a photo of that tree looking out over the lake with the hills coming in at either side at the end of the valley. And in that case, like especially with the more common places like that, it is definitely more of a challenge to come away with something that is unique, really. So I've been there photographing twice, I think, both very brief visits. Oh, OBS notification, go away. So yeah, it can be, but yeah, people, like I say, they're the worst. Some of them are great, especially if they're used to having cameras around. But even myself as a photographer, I am horrible at having my photo taken. I can't stand it. But yeah, I think a lot of the time, like such as weddings, for example, you can get those nice weddings where everyone just dead chilled out, nice day, and you ask people to do something and they just do it. It does happen sometimes. But then you'll get other weddings where people will just not do as you ask, and you'll get Uncle Bob with his camera stood just off to the side, very often just behind you, taking identical shots. So I don't mind other people with cameras at a wedding. There's always going to be someone else with a camera at a wedding. But don't just take the exact same shots. Do something different. While I've got everyone's attention, that's your chance to move off elsewhere, get a different angle and stuff. But yeah, that annoys me. But yeah, to answer the question, I'd have to say, in general, people are harder to photograph. Yeah. Cool. What time is it? I don't even know. 7:42. Tell you what, I'll stick around for another 5-10 minutes. I don't know how many people are online right now. This is telling me 5 people. This is telling me 9 people. So I don't know which one to believe. But yeah, I'll stick around another few minutes. If you've got any more questions, I'll answer them. But yeah, otherwise after that, I'm going to get going. I've still got editing to do tonight before I can enjoy some slightly laggy Rocket League. Yeah, it's been good so far. Do I have any updates for you? Some people might find interesting. You might have seen my video recently about these Nanak cases. I did my own like custom DIY inserts for them, but you can also buy lid organisers for these things, but they are not cheap. I will show you, in fact. So yeah, you can get these lid inserts for them, but they are expensive for what they are. They're a bit of plastic basically with a couple of cases on there, and they're 100 quid. So the plan that I've hatched instead is I got on Amazon and I ordered one of these. This is a roll-up makeup bag or toiletry bag, and it cost me £6. And I've just held it over the top and it will almost perfectly fit into the lid of the case. So I'm going to have a go at probably, I don't know whether I'll use Velcro or if I'll actually screw them in, but that should be a pretty good little organiser for these cases, I reckon. And that goes for Pelly cases as well, any brand pretty much. What else can I say? Yeah, tell you what, yeah, I'm going to call it there. If, I mean, hopefully this whole video's gone alright. I've not had any complete outages or anything like that, and hopefully you've not experienced too much buffering or lag or anything. I'm a bit disappointed there's been no super chats so far. I expected more from you guys. I'm joking. But for my first ever live stream, if I'd imagined trying to do a live stream 2 weeks ago, I'd have laughed in your face. It just would not have happened on my previous internet. So I am buzzing that this has worked. I'll definitely be looking to do more of them in the future. I am still doing my photo a day challenge. I need to put together the video actually for April, so that'll be going online in the next week, I hope. I had something to say then and it's disappeared. What was it? No, it's gone completely. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for watching again, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.